We're here Monday, August 17th, 2026, kicking off the show with the latest from Wage War. Sounded like a DJ right there. With the latest from Wage War, Sweet Dreams. It's Peach's Pit Party on K-Barrel 101. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. I hope your weekend went well. I weighed myself yesterday. So close to 349. So close to 50 pounds lost in total. I was so upset. Why did the music bed just randomly stop again? I thought that was fixed. Ugh. Yeah, I was so close. 350.1. What you got to do is you got to wake up, allow yourself to use the restroom, take care of your business, number 2, and then go weigh yourself. And so I had the windows all wide open because, it was hot this past week. It's going to be hot all this week. I thought the heat was going to go away. I thought there was hope. Idaho weather likes to tease you from time to time. We had like 3 days with a high of 70, low of 50. I'm like, this is nice. And then it's back to 90. So I had the windows wide open. And I don't weigh myself in clothes. I wear compression shorts. That's all I wear. I have to put my phone on the table because I don't want that to add weight to me too. I was talking to my friends on Discord at the time. I'm like, all right, guys, here we go. 350.1. So close. So close. I'm hoping that I can go extra hard this week and see 345 on the scale next Sunday. And then we'll do my, not my final weigh-in, but my final weigh-in before the vacation. See how much I've lost this entire summer. Because I count Labor Day as the end of summer. And I can't believe we're already almost there. It is August 17th. After all, 12 more days, 11 more days till I get to go home and get away from this for a week. So close, yet so far. Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. Just imagine this. A guy in California, he requested all the personal information McDonald's had on him. I don't know why he did it. Just said he did. And they sent him 515 pages. About half the size of a Stephen King book. 515 pages about a guy who likes McDonald's. We're talking about his past orders, loyalty points, even codes he entered from the Monopoly game. McDonald's is apparently using all this information to predict how often he's going to come back and how much money he's likely to spend. I can't even imagine what my McDonald's file looks like. I mean, my Taco Bell one is going to be way worse, 100%. McDonald's, I don't really care for their food. I really don't. I was going there quite a lot to get breakfast on Sunday mornings. That was before I started this whole weight loss thing. I would consider that to be one of the many reasons why I got to 399 pounds. So, yeah, I've taken a step away from McDonald's, but I would love to ask them for my personal information just to see how big my file is. I'm really hoping it's not 515 pages. So imagine working at the same company for 25 years, getting laid off, and then spending more than a year trying to find another job. That's what happened to James Strawn, a former Adobe software engineer in Colorado. After he couldn't find another job in tech, he decided to go in a completely different direction. Now he's driving a school bus. It pays a lot less than his old job, but he says he's actually enjoying it. He likes the people he works with. The kids are mostly good, mostly. He called it the start of a new chapter. Sometimes getting laid off doesn't mean you have to find the exact same job somewhere else. It might just mean it's time to try something completely different. And that's what we're seeing with this week's Hire East Idaho Job of the Week. It's a pest control service professional position with Falls Pest Services. It's full-time. You're working outdoors. You'll get paid training, a company vehicle. You're working 4-day weeks. Sounds nice, right? Pay is $16 to $22 an hour. Previous pest control experience is not required. So you can find something new. Check it out at hireeastidaho.com, where you'll find hundreds of jobs from local employers across East Idaho. Hire East Idaho, connecting people with opportunity. So this might be the worst parking ticket story I've ever heard. This woman in New Zealand was at a medical center with her mother when her mother suffered a cardiac arrest. She was pronounced dead, but doctors were able to revive her, get her back, right? Great ending there. So obviously, parking was probably pretty far down the list of things this family was thinking about. Except when the woman finally got back to her car, she had a parking ticket. She tried to explain what had happened and why the car had been there longer than expected, but she still had to deal with the fine. Her mother literally died, came back to life. Somehow, there's still a parking ticket attached to the story. That's when you know parking enforcement has absolutely no sense of timing or heart whatsoever. I went to Cal State Fullerton during the summer, I think I went there once in the summertime to drop something off or pick something up. I forgot exactly what it was. But I parked in one of the parking structures during the summertime. There are no classes going on, but even if there are, there's like one or two of them. But still, I got an $80 parking ticket, an $80 parking ticket for not having one of those $200 parking permits. And so I wanted to be a complete and utter jerk right back and just pay it all in pennies. Well, I think that's the reason why they make people pay via check rather than showing up with cash, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who had that idea. Even though the Dallas Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl in 30 years, they are the NFL's most valuable franchise for the 7th time in a row, worth a staggering $15.5 billion. The Los Angeles Rams are second at nearly $13 billion, followed by the New York Giants at 12, the New England Patriots 10.4, and the New York Jets 10.3. Who cares? It's not like the 32nd ranked team, the Cincinnati Bengals, are hurting in value. On the open market, the Bengals would be worth $7.4 billion. Okay, that was something worth talking about, I guess. Before Super Bowl 55 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, Tom Brady ruffled the feathers of his former team's fans, as well as some current and former Patriots players, by declaring that he didn't have a dog in the fight. During a recent interview, former teammate and current Patriots coach Mike Vrabel said he wasn't bothered by the remark. Clearly, Tom's gone out of his way to make it known that he's trying to, he has a new job and a new role, and it is what it is. Tom's a friend. He'll always be a friend. He was a former teammate, but he's made it clear, like, I'm doing something new now. I guess that was also something worth talking about. Is there really nothing going on in the world of sports? We're talking about Tom Brady's commentary. I guess Von Miller did sign with the Dallas Cowboys this morning, so there you go. They signed a nearly 40-year-old who's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure, but why would you want to sign an aging professional athlete like that? I don't know. While the unveiling of the new stadium for the Buffalo Bills recently resulted in a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth, especially about obstructed view seats, the new stadium for Northwestern University has been getting glowing reviews. New Ryan Field, the newest, most expensive college football stadium in the country. Only seats 35,000 fans. But the sight lines are excellent. The compact student section near the end zone maximizes home field advantage, and the, quote, worst seat in the house is only 150 feet away from the field, which is about the length of 1.5 basketball courts. This just makes me want to, send a letter to the city of Pasadena and go, hey, we should tear down the Rose Bowl and build a new one. Build one that's modern, has a much better view. My friend John Camucci, who does Top 40 Radio, I know we're getting sidetracked here from the Shot Clock Sports Update, but Noah Kahn just performed at the Rose Bowl over the weekend. A lot of my friends in Top 40 Radio and people I just know from back home went to that Noah Kahn show, and they were just making fun of the long lines waiting outside to get inside this old venue. Who cares if it has a legacy? Tear it down, build a new one. Anyway, that's your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. We have a new champion in a competition that I'm not sure any dog should actually want to win. A 6-year-old pug from California named Ginny Lou just won the world's ugliest dog contest at the Sonoma County Fair. She's got huge eyes, a ton that hangs out, apparently all the confidence in the world as well. She won $5,000 and beat out this albino Chihuahua Pomeranian mix named Pinky, and also a Chihuahua mix named Otto. But here's the part I really like. Ginny Lou is a rescue dog. Her owner regularly takes her to schools, hospice patients, and memory care facilities to help promote pet adoption. So she may have just won a contest for being the ugliest dog in the world, but she's also one of the sweetest. And I think pugs are just downright awesome. I don't care if people call them ugly. I love bulldogs, pugs, mastiffs. I feel like the uglier the dog, the better. But just imagine being that dog that won second place. Like, does the owner go, oh, we'll get him next year? For sure. Here's Sausin or Seosin, however you say their name, starting over again on K-Bear 101. I've apparently not been to enough weddings to have an opinion on this. I've only ever been to, I think, 2 in my entire life. Both of them were pretty cheap weddings, and they skipped a lot of the traditional wedding stuff, which is, not their fault. They just said, hey, we're trying to save our money. So apparently I'm just learning that people are sending you home with things. There's a Reddit post going around where somebody says nobody wants anything from your wedding, personalized tote bags, little keepsakes, centerpieces, all of it, and people in the comments seem to agree that most of this stuff just ends up in the trash. If you give me a little bag of candy, some kettle corn, a bottle of maple syrup, great. You know what? I'll take it. Cool, whatnot. But if you hand me a little wooden sign that says the Johnsons established 2026 or something like that, that's going right into the garbage. All right, I've lost all remorse when it comes to getting these terrible gifts from people, as shallow as that sounds. For the most part, if somebody gives me something like at a live remote or something like that, like there was a live remote that I went to 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, like back when I first started here. Somebody handed me this alligator crocodile money clip. It's extremely cool. It's made from an actual alligator crocodile. I don't know which one. And it's been on our mic arm here in studio this entire time. So if I get anything cool from a listener, it goes right to the studio. It just has to. Like the K-Bear studio needs to be weird. My place, my personal apartment, I threw away a lot of stuff that my parents gave me. I kind of felt bad this one time. Like there was this little fox planter. I talked about this on the air. They got me this as a little Christmas gift. It was a fake plant in the back of a fox. And it was in my bathroom for years. And as I was selling most of my stuff or tossing most of my stuff, I took it out to the dumpster and it felt like I was putting a dog down. Like I just put it in there and I was like tearing up. And it didn't help. I was listening to sad music while doing so. Yeah, don't do that, by the way. If you're trying to get rid of things, don't listen to sad music. I think I was listening to See You Again from Charlie Puth out of all songs. And I'm over there throwing away a ceramic fox-looking animal, about to cry, burst into tears in the back alley of an apartment building. I completely forgot to get this into the Shot Clock Sports Update earlier. You think with how boring the Shot Clock Sports Update was, this would have made it in there. But anyway, Tommy John, the legendary pitcher, 83 years old, passed away. And my big question is, after seeing the announcement of his death, is how do you get an entire medical procedure named after you? Like, I've known a lot of pitchers to get the Tommy John surgery. He was a major league pitcher who tore the ligament in his elbow back in 1974. Dodgers doctor Frank Jobe reconstructed it using a tendon graft, and Tommy John came back and pitched for another 14 years. He won 164 games after the surgery. That surgery eventually became known everywhere as Tommy John surgery. And now you've got thousands of baseball players, like I just mentioned, who have had it over the years. I mean, think about that. Most people get a surgery named after them because they invented it. Tommy John just basically had the elbow and came back from it really well. I mean, there's only other one baseball player to have something named after him, but it's utterly devastating. Lou Gehrig's disease, that would be horrible. You're the first person to have that disease, and then you have it named after you? Oh, anyway. Here's a perfect circle, Starless, on K-Bear 101. All right, so you know that we're in the 101 deadliest days of summer. K-Bear 101 and Brent Gordon Law cares that you get to where you need to go as safe as possible. Don't drive distracted, all of that. Well, I was reading here about this new Harvard study found that traffic deaths were about 15% higher on the release dates of some of the biggest albums compared with the days around them. They looked at 10 major releases, including Taylor Swift's Midnights, Drake's Scorpion, Harry Styles' Harry's House. Streaming of the top 200 songs also jumped 43% on those release dates. The researchers think the problem isn't people listening to music, it's people trying to find the new music while they're driving. You unlock your phone, open Spotify, find the album, scroll through the songs, pick one. You're staring at the screen instead of the road. The study estimates about 182 additional traffic deaths across those 10 release dates. Although the researchers also admit they can't prove the crashes were directly caused by somebody using their phone for music. So basically listening to the new album, just pick the song before you pull out of the driveway. Or listen to us. Sometimes we do album playthroughs around here. Or if you want to request a song, wait till you stop driving to give us a call at 208-535 1015. Hey, we're getting closer and closer to having to explain ourselves to a computer at work. There's an AI manager running a small retail store in San Francisco. Of course, it had to be San Francisco out of all places. And it just fired its first human employee. The employee had been late to 17 out of 23 shifts. What's funny is the AI apparently wasn't even supposed to fire the person at first. It had actually written an attendance policy. And then somehow lost track of it. The employee kept being late, so the AI kept letting it slide. Eventually, the company had to remind the AI to look at its own rules. Then it decided the employee should be fired. So we've reached a point where you can apparently get fired by AI. But first, somebody has to remind the AI what the attendance policy is. That's where we're at. Okay, if you need a job, hire eastidaho.com and try to find one that doesn't have an AI manager in charge. Here's Magnolia Park Shallow on K-Bear 101. We've officially reached the point where beavers are taking over the news. Remember when we decided this was the summer of the rabid beaver? All those people in Maryland got bitten. We talked about it on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. Well, now we've got a beaver story coming out of Detroit. Except this time, nobody got bitten, thankfully. A couple of local news anchors, they were talking about beavers. And one of them asked a question that was apparently just inappropriate enough to completely destroy his co-host. The guy tried to keep it together on live television, just started laughing. What was the question? Come on, tell me the question. Is there a clip of this? Should we play the clip? Is it appropriate for on the air? I don't want to watch an ad. Just tell me what the question was. You're looking for fat in the beaver, is what he overall said. There wasn't a question. It just says, Fox 2 Good Day Detroit co-anchor Ryan Ermani struggled to keep his composure Thursday as Dina Centofanti discussed the History Channel survival show Alone, where contestants hunt and catch wildlife for food. And you're looking for fat in the beaver, Centofanti said as the conversation turned to the animals contestants seek out for food. Yeah, meteorologist Derek Kevra replied. The beaver is the most sought after. Do you think you could eat beaver because it's fat and then it's meat? That's what it said. That's what she said. Okay. And I guess that's what caused this person to lose their mind. All right, there you go. That's a break. There's a Shake Shack story going around that had people pretty pissed off. A guy posted a video from the Shake Shack kiosk at the Salt Lake City airport. He picked up 3 shakes, got to the tip screen, selected no tip. Suddenly, the price of each shake went up by 50 cents. So the internet immediately went, oh, we're charging people more for not tipping now. Shake Shack says no. They say it was pricing technology error. It was a pricing technology error at that specific airport location, which is run by their licensee, HMS Host. They say it had nothing to do with the tip, and they fixed it. Still, you can understand why that video got people fired up. I mean, dynamic pricing being a thing and all of that. There's already a point where tipping has gotten ridiculous. And seeing the screen go from $5.99 to $6.49 right after you hit no tip is not exactly going to inspire confidence, Anyway, here's Bill Murray. A Day to Remember also featured on this track. It'll always let you down. K-Bear 101. Man, it's not going to be a good day when the brand new jumbotron you're putting into your high school gym just falls out of the ceiling. That's what happened at this Illinois high school. They were installing this massive video board in the gym when the thing apparently came loose, came crashing down, damaging part of the building. Luckily, nobody was hurt. But could you imagine, the janitor died? He was right below it the whole time. He's been with the school for 40 years. All of a sudden, the jumbotron just comes flying down, lands on him. This giant new jumbotron for a high school. Back in my day, when I was for the class of 2014, we didn't have no jumbotron. We just had the scoreboard on the wall. And when I got to varsity basketball, back when that was the team to be on. It still is the team to be on. But I mean, anyway, when I finally got to varsity level, I was hoping we could make some crazy entrance every single time we had a home game. No, we just ran through the door. I think a song was playing. We'd run through the door, do our thing. The school would cheer. We weren't like modern day high school where they had the actual jumbotron, the spotlight, even the fog machine. They were a private Catholic school, so they had the money. Unlike my Ocean View Seahawks. Well, still, shout out to them. High school was fun. Anyway, here's Era Black Cloud. K-Bear 101. So somebody posted in the Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group, I believe it was an owner of a local barbershop, and he was talking about how the mullet is the most requested hairstyle. What did he call it again? He called it the modern mullet epidemic. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a problem. If you can rock a mullet, good for you. As a baldy, I'm jealous, man. If I could grow my hair out, I could theoretically fly all the way out to Turkey, get the hair transplant, and then, come back with an even bigger, swollen head. I get those little cuts on the top of my scalp, whatever. Then it finally grows back into real hair, and I don't think I can even grow it long. I think when you get that surgery, you have to have like a permanent buzz cut for the rest of your life, something like that. I could somehow, some way, or I could just put on a toupee, do that, and then every time it's windy outside, just not go outside, if I wanted to rock a mullet that badly. But I gotta tell you, man, if I tried, like legitimately tried to have a mullet, it would be the worst look ever. Honestly, it wouldn't look right. I would look like a big time idiot, even more so than now. I would look like that character in Red Dead Redemption 2. You know exactly which one I'm talking. Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Barrel 101. Unfortunately, it seems like the GLP-1 is no longer doing its thing, or I need to amp up the dosage or whatever, but for the past few nights, I've had late night cravings. Now, I'm not exactly going to succumb to those cravings and go back to my old ways, because I've spent this whole summer trying my best to lose the weight, lose 50 pounds, and I'm at 49. I'm so close. I'm trying to lose more, So I went to Fred Meyer late last night. I put on my slippers, my basketball shorts, whatever clean enough shirt was on the floor. Made my way over to Fred Meyer right before they closed. Went to the cereal aisle to see if they had some kind of granola. I got myself this Catalina Crunch, which doesn't taste good, but it's good for you. So there's that, it has cashews, no sugar, all of that. And then I think I passed the chip aisle, and then I saw in real big letters, Protein Doritos. 8 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein per 10 chips, 150 grams of sodium, the calorie, 150. I think there's 150 calories in 10 of those chips. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try these. I'm sure they won't taste that great, but I did try them, and they're actually pretty good. Got the sweet and tangy barbecue flavor. I should just get a whole bunch of bags of those chips and have those be, whenever I'm all of a sudden craving tortilla chips, just eat those. Because again, not that many carbs in 10 chips. 8 grams of protein, or 8 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein. That's nice enough. I figured I might as well make my own healthy charcuterie board. You get the hard-boiled eggs, the beef sticks. I should call it the Rancid fart board. Hard-boiled eggs, beef sticks, protein chips. That granola with cashews, whole bunch of fiber. Fiber max it out too. Black beans on that thing. the Rancid fart charcuterie board. Oh, that's a bad idea. Here's Beartooth with Free on K-Barrel 101. I thought this was going to be some insane story where this kid going into 5th grade did not want his first day of school picture, so his mom called the cops. She actually got a police officer in Keensburg, Colorado, to help stage a fake arrest. The officer put the 5th grader in handcuffs, walked him over to the patrol car, and that's when mom finally got the picture she wanted. The kid was laughing the whole time. He wasn't traumatized. The pictures went viral. The police department says it was all just a joke, a way to have some fun with this kid and connect with the community. All right, it's wholesome for today's What the Headline. I'm sorry. Right here on K-Barrel 101. I feel like this would have been a better fit for today's What the Headline. There's a person in Norway's Svalbard archipelago. Is that how you're supposed to say it? Who just got hit with a 50,000 kroner fine, about $6,770. Ha! 6-7. He got fined that for waking up a polar bear. They were on a boat earlier this month, spotted a polar bear sleeping on the shore, so somebody on the boat decided to hit the foghorn. The bear woke up, moved somewhere else. Now somebody owes almost $7,000 just for doing that. There's literally a rule in Svalbard saying you're not allowed to needlessly disturb, attract, or pursue a polar bear. Now let the bear sleep, man. You found a sleeping polar bear. There was absolutely no reason for anybody to hit the giant boat horn. Unless they were hoping to find out how fast a polar bear can wake up, swim to you, and maul you, you know. Contrary to popular belief, they don't only drink Coca-Cola. No, they kill animals, people. They're crazy. They're vicious. Anyway. All right, you ready to point and laugh? There was this guy, the CEO of Better.com. His name is Vishal Garg, which it already sounds like a villain's name, Vishal Garg. He, 5 years ago, fired 900 employees of Better.com via a Zoom call. Well, 5 years later, he got fired. The company's board removed him as CEO earlier this month. Instead of just walking away, Garg is now trying to get his job back. He's reportedly offered to come back for $1 a year, which is pretty bold. How good was this job? This is the same guy who became famous for putting 900 employees on a Zoom call and basically said, if you're on this call, you're fired. And now he's on the other side of the conversation going, can I come back? There's a whole fight going on inside the company over who should be running it. So this thing isn't over yet. But you've got to admit, there's something pretty funny about a guy who became famous for firing people, finding out that getting fired sucks. I wish that would happen with all these radio programmers that are just firing these radio personalities nonstop. You know, it really does suck that corporate radio is just ruining everything. Again, if you're looking for a job, hireeastidaho.com.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.